Hey guys, OGalbina here, bringing you guys part 2 of a video we started last week. Part 1 should have went up, I believe it was last Saturday. Part 2 is going up this Sunday just because of the fact that I don't have an NCP upload for you this week. Just because the league went on a break week. Just to give coaches a week to detox before playoffs and stuff like that. We do have our playoff match next week against 6 Foot Hack, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But I don't have an upload for today, so I figured it would be a perfect time to finish our video on tiering abilities in Pokemon based on their draft league viability. Oh, excuse me. How good they are in draft league, stuff like that. You can obviously see part 1. I'll either do a little thingy in the top or link in the description as well for sure. So go look at that if you haven't seen that already. We basically got through I. So we have a lot more to go. I'm gonna try and go a little bit quicker this time. Yeah, we'll see what we can do. It looks like actually it didn't keep my ones in the bottom tier, the not going to use tier. This is basically for like Ubermons that only get this ability. So there's no reason in doing Delta Stream, Desolate Land, Fairy Aura. Full Metal Body is just Clear Body, but on Slowbro. So that should be good. Let's go ahead and kind of jump into it. Basically, the tier list kind of goes like S, broken, like very good ability. A is very useful in a lot of situations. B is not necessarily niche, just a great overall, buff to the Pokemon that it's given to. C is meh, niche in specific instances. Not necessarily bad, but not necessarily like, wow, I love this Pokemon's ability. D is very, very niche abilities that could have some kind of use at some point, but not like anything crazy. And then F is abilities that are really, 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 really bad, whether they be double abilities, in-game abilities, or even just bad abilities like Innards Out and Damp and Big Pecs and things like that. So let's go ahead and jump into it. First off, we have Justified. And personally, I think Justified I would put probably high B. I would probably put it right around... Fluffy, around this area. I think you could like interchange it between this top row kind of a little bit. Justified, if you don't know what it does, is when you're hit with a dark type move, it boosts your attack by 1 stage. The Swords of Justice get it, and I know Gallade gets it, and I know Lucario gets it. Now, this is a very solid ability, especially on these Pokemon that are fighting resistant. It really does give them a big, big boost in their attack, especially something like Terrakion, and you gotta be careful with whether you're throwing out knockoffs and Dark Pulses, and then that Scarf Terrakion comes in, or even just like, Terrakion, I guess if it's Scarf and it gets knocked off, it's not Scarf anymore, but a +1 Terrakion's a lot harder to pivot around than a neutral attacking Terrakion, so that's obviously very, very terrifying. I think in, specific niche instances, it can be really nice, and I think that the only reason I'm putting it in B, opposed to like low B or high C or something like that, is because the Pokemon that get it are typically very good, and they make you really think twice about clicking knockoff, really. Cobalion, Terrakion, Lucario are probably the best 3 with it. Then you can say like Virizion, Gallade, and then probably like the worst is Keldeo. And there's probably another Pokemon that gets it that I'm completely forgetting about, but those are the ones that come to my mind. Is just the Sword Trio, Keldeo, and Lucario. And Gallade, I suppose. So yeah, that's gonna be Justified. I think that's pretty darn self-explanatory. Next is Kenai. I'm gonna go ahead and put Kenai in F. I want to put it in D, but I really don't think making sure your accuracy isn't lowered is really going to help you in any situation at all, especially when evasion boosting is, moves like Mud Slap and things like that, even if they're allowed. Is it Mud Slap or Mud Shot? The one that lowers accuracy, even if they are allowed, because some leagues just don't allow that, 'cause it's not very competitive. I think that it's just not useful enough to really, justify it. And obviously your flying types, even though specific moves won't hit you, so not the best in my mind. Again, it's not necessarily like detrimental to the Pokemon, which is kind of where we have Defeatist. None of these have been detrimental to the Pokemon yet, besides maybe arguably Emergency Exit, but I talked about them in the first video. I don't think that's like an objective bad ability. I think it can be used well. So yeah, that's where I'm going to put it. Klutz, this is an objective bad ability. That does kind of hurt the Pokemon. Besides niche specific uses, like tricking, like a Flame Orb, or like a Toxic Orb onto something, or an Assault Vest or something, because you can trick. Because what Klutz does is it basically makes it to where your items don't work on you. So in most competitive settings, that's not a good thing. Items are very important and things like that. But other than like Lop Switcheroo, Golurk Trick, you're typically not going to run this. I mean, regular Lopunny is an awful Pokemon that you're never going to draft anyway. I guess it's like it's one niche that it can do. And then Golurk, why would you do that when you can run No Guard or Iron Fist or something like that? Usually you'll see that in like a meme game. And that's realistically it. Leaf Guard, man, we're getting some bangers right out the gate. I'm also going to put this one in F. High F because not necessarily a bad thing. It's also an ability that just really doesn't help things out. Like Zarude gets it. And I think Zarude would be so much better if it got just like a better ability that like helped it out. Leaf Guard, I believe in Sun, you cannot be statused, I want to say. So like I guess it protects you from like Scald Burns and things like that, getting toxic. But most of the time, realistically, that's not going to help you out because Sun is such a niche thing. And the Pokemon that get Leaf Guard often too, besides like Zarude, things like Leafeon, things like Tangrowth, they have other ways to either obviously Tangrowth has Regen, but like they can also run Chlorophyll, which is a genuine benefit in the Sun. So I don't think that Leaf Guard is very good at all. Again, it's not necessarily a detrimental ability, but why ever run Leaf Guard on a Pokemon if you don't have to? Like on Zarude, and with Zarude, it's basically like not having an ability. So that's obviously not great. Now we finally get a good ability. It's gonna be Levitate. We get a couple good abilities in a row. We'll get to the next one next though. But Levitate, I think I'm gonna put it right here. Levitate simply because it gives a lot of Pokemon much better defensive utility. Things like Bronzong that are typically weak to ground, they're not weak to ground anymore. It makes them a lot better. Even things like Claydol, making it a great edge quick, or just giving it that good low tier value. I think that Levitate is definitely one of the best abilities in the game. Having a free ground immunity when edge quick is so nasty, if you can take those steals, I mean those rock type moves, it gives you again great defensive utility. So I think Levitate's for sure an A tier ability. While Haunter might not be the best indication or representation of a good defensive Mon that gets Levitate, it's still very good nonetheless. So nothing too crazy right there. Next is Libero. I think I gotta put Libero in S tier. Obviously it's only on Cinderace, but it's basically Protean, and I'm gonna put Protean in S tier too. If these Pokemon are allowed, there are not many leagues where I see Libero Cinderace still allowed now that we're later on in Gen 8. But if it's allowed, this is going to be the best Pokemon in the pool because this ability is broken. Libero and Protean, they both make it to where the move that you click, it changes your typing to that. And I guess it gives Kecleon some niche use with Protean too. We'll talk about that later. But so it makes Cinderace, when you click U-turn, you turn into a bug type. You get that stab boost, and it helps play mind games with your typing. And you click Sucker Punch, you turn into a dark type. High Jump Kick, a fighting type. Gunk Shot, a poison type, etc. So it gives this Pokemon a lot more offensive potency when every move you throw off is stab. And a lot of Cinderace's coverage is just really high base powered strong moves. High Jump Kick, Gunk Shot, Pyro Ball, U-turn, chunks things, especially chunks with bulky waters that want to pivot in on you. Things like that, obviously really solid. So I think Libero is definitely S tier, at least in my mind. Light Metal, I think I put this... Do I have Heavy Metal yet? I'm pretty sure I have Heavy Metal. Let's look where we have Heavy Metal, though, before I put it anywhere. There's Heat Proof, Heavy Metal. Is there really not Heavy Metal in this? Oh my gosh, why can't I find Heavy Metal? This is so unbelievably tilting. There's that. There's Heavy Metal. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I think Light Metal is pretty exponentially worse than Heavy Metal, because at least Heavy Metal you can kind of get that boost from Heavy Slam, while Light Metal, it helps you with like low kick calcs. It hurts you against Heat Crash calcs, so it kind of offsets itself. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of D, damn near an F tier. I mean, it can come with clutch sometimes, but it's really not that great. Lightning Rod, I think any immunity is definitely very good. I mean, there's obviously other Pokemon other than Rhydon, which is obviously already immune to Lightning Rod. Let me check the other ones. I know... What do you call it? Raichu gets it. Rod Pokemon. Let me check Bulbapedia really quick. Like, I know obviously the Rhydon line gets it, which is pretty funny, but not the craziest thing. Alola Marowak gets it. Actually makes it a great Coco check, which is really cool. Raichu gets it. Seaking gets it, which is the funniest thing. If only I think was good. You have things like Mega Sceptile, Manectric, Togedemaru. So it gives those Pokemon a little bit more defensive utility, boosting their special attacks, or if they are special attackers, letting them do a little bit more damage. Obviously, it doesn't matter for things like Marowak and Rhydon and things like that, but the other ones definitely really nice for sure. And you can't really say any, immunity type ability is bad. Next up, we have Limber. I'm going to go ahead and put Limber right above Cloud9. I think not being able to be paired is really cool. It's really nice in niche matchups. I've even seen like Limber Holoches do well in matchups where it's just really naturally faster than everything, and their way of dealing with it is like maybe like a Prankster T-Wave or something like that. Being able to be Limber is actually pretty cool in very niche small situations. It's just nice to have. Again, it's not anything game changing. Honestly, I feel like it's probably even lower. I'm probably gonna put it at the bottom of C. I don't think it's like bad. I think it has more niche than that, but not the best. Next up, we have Liquid Ooze. I'm gonna put Liquid Ooze at the top of C. I don't think it's quite good enough to be B tier, but I think obviously being a nice leech absorber, just because of the fact that you're gonna be hurting your opponent. You're still taking the damage, but you're hurting your opponent in the meantime. They can't Giga Drain you, Draining Kiss you, things like that, or they're going to hurt themselves. So that's obviously very, very nice. Next up, we have Liquid Voice. Liquid Voice, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna put it at the top of. If I understand this right, I think top of D tier. Let me go look it up. I want to make sure, because the reason I say top of D tier is because I don't think Liquid Voice actually gives you a boost, like an amplifier to your attacks, makes them stronger. So in my mind, there's really no reason to use it on Primarina. I'd rather be throwing off Scalds or Surfs and 90% of matchups. Yes, there might be some matchups where you have to hit something through a sub. Other than that, though, I'm just going to throw off Scald and Surf. Why? I'd rather have Torrent in case I get low. So in my mind, it's pretty darn useless. Honestly, I don't even think it's top of D tier. I'm going to put it below Hunger Switch. I think Hunger Switch is better overall. So that's where I'm going to put it. Long Reach. What other Pokemon get Long Reach besides Decidueye? Is there other ones? Long Reach. Pokemon. I guess I should have been a little bit more prepared. But it's alright. Pokemon with Long Reach. Let's see. It's just the Decidueye line. So it is pretty good. I mean, if you're playing a Ferrothorn and you want to get free U-turns off, why not just not take Rocky Helmet? Things like Garchomp. It's just a general nice thing to have. I think I would put it above Limber for sure. But it's nothing game-changing. It's nice in niche-specific matchups. Now we have Magic Bounce. I think Magic Bounce is an awesome ability. And I think if I have... What do you call it? Battle Armor in A tier? Which I might even move down, to be completely honest. I think it's better than Fur Coat, for sure. Flame Body, Clear Body. Where am I going to put this? I think I'm going to put it in Magic right here, in A tier. Magic Bounce, obviously, make it to where you can't be status, making it to where hazards can't get thrown up on you, Leech Seeds, anything like that, it's going to get bounced right back at the opponent. Obviously, you have things like Xatu, which are great hazard turns, being that it gets defog, has boots, and it has Magic Bounce, really, really clean. Espeon, same thing. If you're a little bit more aggressive with it, you can definitely, you know, kind of be a little cheeky and get off some crazy stuff with it. Hatterene is also a really nice option, being able to pretty much guarantee get up Trick Room in all instances. You have Mega Diancie, which is, again, very scary to potentially use as a Magic Bouncer, a lot like Espeon, but, you know, that's why Protector is always a really nice move. Mega Absol, same deal. And then Mega Sableye, it makes Mega Sableye a lot better than it really, you know, would be otherwise. Not being able to Toxic that thing is genuinely obnoxious. Not being able to Taunt that thing is genuinely obnoxious. So I think that Magic Bounce is really, really solid. Magic Guard, where's my S tier at? Right up here. This ability makes Clef what Clef is. This, obviously, Unaware is still very good, but this really puts Clef over the top. Then you have Pokemon like Reuniclus that also get it, and it makes them exponentially better. Not only can you not status them, not only can you not, you know, get Leech Seed recovery off of them, things like that, you also can't get Hazard Chip off of them without them having to run a boot or boots or anything like that. And obviously, before boots were a thing, they couldn't run it anyways. And the potential Lifeguard sets. Life Orb sets. I said Lifeguard. Jeez. Oh, and it is late. But even the potential Life Orb sets on Clef and Reuniclus, and then you have the more offensive Pokemon that get this, being Alakazam and Sigilyph and stuff like that, really makes them a lot scarier otherwise, which is obviously really, really cool. And yeah, it gives you good status absorber, and just overall very, very useful ability. To a not very useful ability in Magician. And would I put this in D tier? Yeah, I'm probably going to put it below Hunger Switch. Magician, I believe if you don't have your item and you steal your opponent's item, and your opponent has an item, you have like a small chance to be able to steal said item, right? If the Pokemon has no item, it steals the item off of a Pokemon it hits with an attack. So it's guaranteed with Magician. Okay, I was thinking the one that Hoopa has. Doesn't Hoopa have Pickpocket? Yeah, I was thinking Pickpocket. So Magician isn't the craziest thing, especially being that literally only Klefki gets it. So when you're ever running Magician, so honestly that might even make it lower, because like, oh no, Delphox gets it, obviously. Magician. Let me see, is it just Delphox and, you know, it is the Delphox line. Oh, and then Hoopa has this one. Okay, so it is Hoopa. Okay. What was I thinking then? Weird. Okay, then I'll leave it where it is, because I guess regular Hoopa uses it. And Hoop on Bounce. So not the most useless thing, but obviously not the best. Now, Magma Veil, I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of need fail. This is not even written down correctly. It's Magma Armor. Pokemon cannot be frozen. This sucks. I'll be honest, this is kind of doo-doo butter. I'm gonna put it at the top of F because it's not objectively useless, but you're a fire type anyways. I mean, like, I don't know. I think, especially on being that it's literally just, what do you call it? The Slugma line and I believe Camera Up line that get Magma Armor. Yeah, Slugma and Camera Up. And I guess Macargo by extension. So not the best thing, especially because you're gonna run different abilities on them anyways. With what do you call Macargo? You're gonna run Flame Body or Weak Armor, and then with Camera Up, you're gonna run Solid Rock for sure. So definitely not the best thing. Magnapole, I think the idea of Magnapole is at the very least going to be A tier. I'll probably put it right below Magic Bounce. I think it makes Magneton and Magneton infinitely better. Obviously, being able to trap among steel types for Pokemon on your team that might not appreciate that it said steel types. Say you have that G-Darm and you don't want to have to deal with predicting Clean Flareless or Earthquake. You just want to click Ice Crash the whole game. You eliminate that steel. It becomes a lot easier. So that's obviously very, very solid. Marvel Scale. I think Marvel Scale is another A tier ability. I'm going to go ahead and put it probably above Fur Coat. I think it's objectively better than Fur Coat. And Flame Body a little bit. Because it doesn't have to be, I think Fur Coat, no, Fur Coat isn't fluffy, right? Fluffy is just physical, like, contact, or no, yeah, Fluffy is like contact moves. Fur Coat is the defense is doubled, so it's not as good as Fur Coat, I don't think. Let me double check the actual numbers on Marvel Scale. And again, I don't think it is better in general because, yeah, because you're not doubled, and you have to be status, so. I'll put it at the bottom of A tier. It makes Milotic a lot more physically bulky, and when you have the natural Spadef that Milo has, it's genuinely amazing for it. It makes it a lot more annoying to kill in some matchups, though you do have to deal with being burned, which is definitely very annoying because of the fact, obviously, that's going to chip you down. That plus hazards plus the hit you're taking. But yeah, that's gonna be Marvel Scale. I thought it was double, and I forgot that Fur Coat isn't fluffy. So don't mind me when I say that Fur Coat is worse. Mega Launcher. Mega Launcher, oh man, this is another A tier ability. I feel like Mega Launcher is really, really solid. Again, it's not on that many Pokemon. It's really only Blastoise, Mega Blastoise, and Cloister. Cloister isn't the best Pokemon. It's very niche, but it's not an awful Pokemon at all. It's definitely a pretty solid, like, tier 4-ish type Pokemon. And it can be very annoying with Flip Turn and don't have big hits, especially if you draft Terrain with it. I think if you draft, like, something with Electric Terrain or Grassy Terrain, can be very, very scary. But Mega Blastoise, man, that makes it makes that thing very scary to deal with. Dark Pulse, Aura Sphere, Water Pulse, obviously, and then like Ice Beam coverage on the side as well with Rapid Spin. And, Flip Turn. Obviously, this is either you're talking Gen 7 or Gen 8 like Showdown leagues. But it really makes Mega Blastoise a big offensive threat. So I think it's for sure deserves A tier because Blastoise wouldn't be half as strong without it. Merciless sucks. It's only on Pex otherwise, and when are you ever using Merciless Pex? I really hope you're not using Merciless Pex. This is another really bad ability in my opinion in Mimicry. I'm just gonna put it like, I think it's worse than this. Basically what Mimicry does is it changes your typing based on the terrain. But Glaring Surface is such a bad Pokemon, it's such a niche ability, I don't think it really ends up mattering all too much. It's not objectively bad, but it can screw you over sometimes. Minus, I'm pretty sure Minus is super bad doo-doo butter. It is a doubles only ability, so I'm gonna put it right there. I'm like 90% sure. I think you need something with plus on the field at the same time, and it does something good. Let's see. Yeah, the other Pokemon has the plus ability. This Pokemon's attack is 1.5 times. So yeah, doesn't really help. Mirror Armor, I'm gonna put in B just because of I'm gonna put high B, right? I think I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put it high B because it's a really good ability on paper. What it does is it bounces back stat changes basically on your opponent. So if Intimidate comes out, you Mirror Armor that right back onto the Arcanine, which is obviously really annoying. It's just that pressure is so good on Corvi with its defensive typing. You're not running it all too often unless there's something specific you're trying to catch, but it is a really good ability on paper. Like, it is a really good ability. I don't think it's bad at all. So I'm going to put it in B just for, like, the sense of the ability. Obviously, Corvi is not running Mirror Armor most of the time, but I don't think it's something you can really complain about too much. Mold Breaker is an A tier ability. Mold Breaker is super sick nasty a lot of the time. Whether it be getting up rocks, going through immunities with your Mold Breaker drill, clicking Earthquake on that Bronzong that we were talking about earlier, being able to nuke it, getting up rocks on the Mega Sableye with your, what do you call it, Druddigon, or statusing Pokemon with what do you call it, magic bounce. So I think that Mold Breaker has you know, a ton of use throughout Draft League, and it can really just kind of throw a big wrench in the opponent's plans if you do have you know, potential Mold Breaker to counter their ability. Moody is something you're not going to see in Draft League, so I'm going to put it down there. Moody is broken, and it's uncompetitive, and you shouldn't allow it in your Draft League. Moto Drive, I think I'm going to put Moto Drive at the top of D. It is a good ability. It gives Electivire and Electric Immunity, and it gives it a nice speed boost. Honestly, no, I think Moto Drive is better than that. I'm going to put it in C. Obviously, Electivire isn't a Pokemon you see very often, but I think it's really nice to have an Electric Immunity, and it makes Electivire better. So I don't think you can say that's, you know, like, bad. I'm going to put this here because I just see it right here, and I'm also going to put this here. You know what I should do, so I don't feel as overwhelmed looking at this list? I should go through and take all of the Pokemon you're not going to see in regular Draft League. Unfortunately, we're not using Primordial C. And again, I could miss something, and I apologize if I do. Shadow Shield is just multi-skill, but for Lunala. We're gonna keep going. Soul Heart is Magearna, and if your league allows Magearna, you need to call the police because it shouldn't be allowed. There's Steadfast, Technician. Terrible is just Mold Breaker, but for Zekrom. And then we're gonna see Turbo Blaze, I guess, soon. Yeah. Let's go put that up there. I don't know what this is, so you're not gonna see it in Draft League. Unseen Fist, Victory Star, Wonder Skin, Wimp Out, Weak Armor, Water Compaction, Wandering Spirit. I think we should be good. If I see something else, I'm just gonna have to go up and fix it. So, yeah, let's go ahead and jump back in. Moxie. Moxie is a very good ability. We're gonna put it right next to Chilling Neigh. We talked about in the last video. Moxie and Chilling Neigh do the exact same thing. If you knock out a Pokemon with your Pokemon, your attack stat goes like that. It goes right up. Really nice on a lot of Pokemon like Crook. Not necessarily Scrappy. It's not the first Pokemon that comes to mind when I think Moxie, personally. I much more think Intimidate or Shedskin with that mon. But it makes Pokemon like Salamence, Gyarados a lot scarier offensively. Heracross with a Scarf is also very scary with it. Crocodile, even Pinsir, man. Who knows? Honchkrow can actually be really scary in a lot of matchups with it. So, definitely very solid. Multiscale. Multiscale is an S tier ability. I think it's right in front of Disguise. I think it's just basically Disguise. And I think with Boots being that you can guarantee have that multiscale is so nice for D-Knight and setup opportunities and really being able to cleave through teams. Or just being a defensive nuisance, man. People sleep on the fact that D-Knight can go with some nasty, like, you know, like toxic sets and things like that. Like, you know, like Spadef, Sub Roost Toxic, or not even Sub sometimes, just going just Toxic Roost, coverage move, maybe Defog or another coverage move, something like that. Really, really annoying Pokemon overall. I think makes D-Knight a lot better. Mummy is going to be a nice and C tier ability for me. I'm going to put it probably right here. Obviously, it's really nice in some specific niche instances to get rid of your opponent's ability. Say you're playing a Mega Lot and it clicks Fake Out and you go into your Kofag. It doesn't have Scrappy anymore, so it can't hit you, which is obviously really, really clean. Sometimes it literally comes into play at none the entire game. It comes into play not at all. So sometimes it's great, sometimes not. Natural Cure, I think, is for sure an A tier ability. Yeah, Natural Cure is for sure an A tier ability. Being able to be a nice status absorber, especially as a fatter Pokemon, is genuinely amazing. It makes Rosary great as a Scald absorber. It makes the Blissey and Chansey obviously a lot better as status absorbers, especially with their fat nature. Being able to take those Toxics, be annoyed, get World Download, then be like, I'm gonna switch and get myself healed up a little bit there. Obviously, Celebi's another great one. Altaria, Roselia, another great Scald switch, especially as a low tier Pokemon. Shaman, another great user of Natural Cure. So really, really solid ability. Neutralizing Gas. I'm gonna put Neutralizing Gas. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I'm gonna put it right here. It's another ability that's very, very nice in some matchups. Being able to just completely neutralize an opponent's ability by being on the field. It's like it's kind of like what do you call it? I was gonna say Turbo Blaze, Mold Breaker, but it's not only on your attacking moves. It's not only on the moves you're clicking. The ability is just kind of null and void in general. However, I think on Weezing a lot of times you do really want Levitate, but it really does help out Weezing with Neutralizing Gas a lot. You become a great check to things like even Mega Mawile or like a what do you call it? Some kind of Guts Bomb, like a Guts Conkeldurr. You're gonna take on a lot easier because they're gonna, you know, have their attack halved by that burn, or, you know, neutralized a little bit, opposed to being stronger because of said burn. So that's obviously really, really solid. And there are obviously other great niche uses. Maybe you have T-Spikes up, 2 T-Spikes up in that Clefable's been in Calm Minding. You can switch into your Weezing, and it's going to take all those turns of Toxic that have been sitting out on the field. So that's obviously really solid. and I think it makes it really good. No Guard. I think No Guard's a really good ability. I don't think it's necessarily anything crazy. Obviously, not being able to miss is amazing. I'm going to put it up, actually. Not being able to miss is great. I guess I wasn't really thinking Mega Pidgeot. Other than this, I was kind of thinking, like, oh, Machamp gets it. Golder gets it. What else, basically? Because there really isn't much. Doublade, but Doublade doesn't miss any moves anyways. So there isn't a lot of Pokemon outside of, you know, like, the obviously now extinct Mega Pidgeot to get it, but it makes Mega Pidge amazing. Throwing off 100% accurate Hurricanes, super sick nasty. Not missing your Heat Waves, great. So I don't think it's a bad ability at all. And, you know, you draft him a champ with a lower tier, you know, offensive threat or Golek. Throwing off free dynamic punches, but obnoxious. Genuinely obnoxious. So that's obviously really solid. Normalize. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't know what this does. I don't care what it does. Oblivious. Oblivious is a lot better this gen. Now, obviously not on Slowbro, but on things like, what do you call it? I believe Mamoswine gets Oblivious, as well as Piloswine. I believe Licky gets it, which is obviously great, because what it does is not only are you immune to Intimidate, you're also immune to being taunted. I guess you're immune to being taunted first, which is really nice on mons like Licky, especially on mons like Piloswine that you want to get a Brox on, things like that. And then it's really nice just to not be intimidated on your Mamoswine. Just a big old Ice Crashes and Earthquakes. So I think this Pokemon, in all honesty, is probably up here for me. I mean, this ability. Obviously, Slowbro, you should run Regenerated. You probably shouldn't run Oblivious unless it's a very specific niche thing where you just cannot get taunted no matter what. But obviously Regen's a broken ability and it's much better, but we'll get to that. Overcoat. Overcoat's a nice C-tier ability. It's nice and niche instances, not necessarily on this Pokemon, I don't think, being Reuniclus, but obviously on other things being a nice, what do you call it, like Spore Absorber, like Powder moves. Sand being immune is also really nice. Things like Escav make use of it. Things like Komo definitely make use of it. Mandibuzz, another really, really solid one. Cloister, I suppose, most of the time you're going to be Skill Link. Yeah, so it's not the worst ability. It's definitely solid in its own right. Own Tempo. Not going to lie to you. Kind of forget what Own Tempo does. Leaves it also that you can't be taunted. Cannot be confused, immune to Intimidate. So it's realistically not the worst thing in the world. Let me check the physical attackers that get Tempo. You have Licky that's going to run Oblivious 100% of the time. Wow. Nothing really gets this that's of note. I'll be honest. Mudsdale, but you're running Stamina. Don't run Own Tempo Mudsdale, please. Avalog, you're going to be running Sturdy. Special Attacker. Yeah, I'm going to put this in D because, like, while it's not objectively bad, it does things. The Pokemon that get it aren't very good. I'm going to put it right there. No, I'm going to put it, because it's still very, like, a good ability. It's just the Pokemon that get it aren't very good. Kind of like Cotton Down. So we're going to put it right there. Frontal Bond, amazing ability. They nerfed it a little bit. If it wasn't nerfed, it would be a little bit higher. I think it's for sure, you know, an A-tier ability, nonetheless. Being able to hit your opponent twice is broken. Obviously, Seismic Toss is usually banned on Mega Kang and leagues that, at this point in time, I hope they would, you know, do that complex ban, because being able to throw off 2 Seismic Tosses in one turn is pretty broken for that consistent guaranteed damage. But obviously throwing off, you know, maybe Power Punches, Body Slams, Facades, things like that make this Pokemon very, very annoying to deal with. Do I think it's better than these ones, though? No, I'll be honest. I think I'm going to put it right there. I think that's completely fair, to be honest. Pastelville, you can't get Toxic. This would be cool if it literally wasn't only on Galarian Rapidash. So we're going to put it right there in D tier. It's on Galarian Rapidash. Perish Body, I think this Pokemon, this ability borderline is, it's almost negative for you. I mean, it could be nice in some instances where, like, I need to get a Perish Song off on something immediately, but also you're being Perish trapped in too. So is it really, really that beneficial at the end of the day? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in F tier, a little bit above some other things. While it's borderline bad for you, it's not like auto the worst thing. Okay, next we have Weavile. If this Pokemon has no item, it's hit by a contact move, it steals the attacker's item. So it's not even you hit them and steal their item, they have to hit you first. And I feel like on Weavile, that's not great, because you're a Weavile and you gotta get hit with a physical attack for your ability to work. You're gonna run pressure most of the time anyways, just because it's a nice ability to have, even if you're not pressure stalling things. I'm gonna put this in D tier. Yeah, I really don't think it's great, because basically getting hit with a physical attack, just steal an item. And the Pokemon that get this aren't like objectively bulky Pokemon. You have the Weavile line, you have the Shiftry line that you're gonna run. What do you call it? Chlorophyll on. You have the Binacle line that you're gonna run Tough Claws on, and then you have the Grimmsnarl line that's going to run Prankster. Literally, why ever run this? Pickup. Pickup is an in-game ability. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Just want to double check. I'm pretty sure you just pick up items. No, it's not just in-game. It's also if this Pokemon has no item, it finds one adjacent to the floor next to it. So it's not the worst ability in the world. I think I'm still gonna put it in F tier just because it's not the most useful thing in the world. It's also the Pokemon that get it. Again, it's kind of a matter of these Pokemon are going to use different abilities. This is a good ability in Little Cup. Keep that in mind. It is a pretty good ability in Little Cup. Just overall, but yeah, at the end of the day, why run this ability over something else? Especially the Pokemon that get it in Standard are Lanoon, Diggersby, the Gorgeist forms, and I guess Dedenne. And even then, Dedenne is not using that ability, so whatever. Pixelate. I think Pixelate is a little bit better than Aerialate just because there are more Pokemon that get it, and they're very solid Pokemon. I'm going to go ahead and put it right here in the top of B tier. Obviously, it makes Sylveon a lot stronger. It makes Mega Guard a lot stronger. It was nerfed. It would probably be an A tier if it wasn't nerfed. And does a little bit less damage than Gen 6, but still very solid nonetheless. Throwing off Pixelate boosted Hyper Voices is genuinely terrifying to deal with. So yeah, so we're going to put that. Plus, we're going to put it right next to minus. We're going to put them in alphabetical order, so it's going to go behind minus. So let's go ahead and do that. Poison Heal. Poison Heal is an S tier ability. You cannot change my mind. I think Poison Heal is absolutely amazing. Not only on Breloom, I think Poison Heal Breloom is super slept on, but Gliscor, obviously. Gliscor is a great Pokemon in this format. And being able to not only not be worried about being toxic, but actually benefiting from being toxic, that makes that Pokemon obviously a great status absorber too. You don't have to worry about your Gliscor getting burned. You don't have to worry about your, Breloom getting burned or parried or something like that. Obviously, you don't have to worry about them getting frozen either. So I guess you can't really say that. But yeah, amazing ability. Gives them a great defensive utility. As is Poison Point. Poison Point's pretty solid as well. I'm gonna put it right here. Reason I put Poison Point there because it's not anything super broken. It gives the Nidos great defensive utility on matchups where you're not running Sheer Point, and there are some matchups where you're not going to run Sheer Force if you really need to bake that poison on something. It helps with things like Quillfish, not so much really because Intimidate's so much better, but if you're going like a, annoying defensive Roserade, you can even do that. It's really most useful on Nidoqueen in my mind, but Quillfish definitely isn't the worst Pokemon to get the ability for sure. And I know Roserade obviously has Natural Cure, which is much better 99% of the time. But I have seen Poison Point be used well. I think in BBR Finals, Matoshay brought a really cool Endure Poison Point Rocky Helmet Roserade as his Dracovish check, which was really cool by him. And it basically eliminated the Pokemon at the beginning of the game. So that's obviously great. Poison Touch, however, much better. Especially when you think of Pokemon like Muck. I think this ability is very annoying to deal with. I'm going to put it right here above. For sure. I think Poison Touch is very annoying to deal with. On Muck, the thing seems to get 100% poisons when it clicks Poison Jab. Let's go to Poison Point. Sorry, I just got a notification on my phone. Poison Touch, not Point. And I just went one black and white, like some kind of trainer thing. Poison Touch. There we go. So it's basically just Toxicroak, which is going to run Dry Skin a lot of the time. And then Muck and Seismitoad. Seismitoad often isn't going to run it as well, but there are some matches where I have seen it get use out of it and stuff like that. If there isn't necessarily like a water absorb on that you're super worried about, you can definitely get use out of it. And then it's mostly Muck though, and Muck throwing off those big poison jabs. I think it's like a 60-something% chance to get a poison with that Poison Touch plus Poison Jab. So that's great. That's free residual, which is awesome. Power of Alchemy. Pretty sure that this is a Doublez ability, so we're gonna go ahead and put it right here. I'm like 90% sure. Let me just double check. Power of Alchemy. Boop. And we're gonna go to Muck. Obviously ally, yeah. So not the greatest. Also another double ability. Power Spot. All the power abilities. Prankster. Prankster is also an S tier ability, in my opinion. Now, I'm gonna put it above Disguise. I think it makes a lot of Pokemon really great. Getting up Prankster Spikes with your Klefki. Getting off a Prankster Stun Spore or Defog with your Whimsicott. Getting off a Prankster, what else is there really? Prank. I'm sorry, I'm recording this really late at night, so I'm kind of relying on Jordan to help me out. Getting up Prankster screens as well. Absolutely amazing. Prankster T-Wave with your Thunderous or your Clef Key. There's a lot of really annoying ideas. Lipard setting up Manual Sun or Rain is awesome. Sableye throwing off a Prankster Toxic Whips. It just is a generally amazing ability that you really can't complain about at all. And it makes some Pokemon that would be completely unviable. Things like Lipard. It makes Grimmsnarl a very good Pokemon. It makes Whimsicott very good as well. It makes Sableye really nice on some balance and fatter builds. Definitely great. Pressure, hot take, and I don't know why they have Absol as the Pressure mascot. I'm gonna go ahead and put Pressure right up here. Pressure is amazing, especially with those fat Pokemon, the Suicunes of the world, the Zapdos and Moltres of the world. Being able to sub and PP stall, sub roost or sub protect in Suicune's case. Even Raikou can run good, pressure stalling sets, things like that. Kyurem sub roost is really nasty to do. Being able to just kind of, and then we talked about Corviknight earlier too. Completely forgot Corviknight. Being able to PP stall Pokemon and make them use 2 of their attack instead of 1, especially if you have something like especially if you have the options like Protect, that adds up over game. Especially if you have a really fat balanced build, they're going to run out of attacks, and it's really annoying to deal with. Especially if they're going for higher base power moves that typically have less PP to break through your fat Pokemon that has it. It's gonna get really annoying, really fast. Prism Armor, I think Prism Armor is high-ish. I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here. It makes Necrozma ridiculously bulky. A lot of the time, you're just not gonna want to hit it with a super effective move because it doesn't kill, and you don't want to proc a weakness policy. It makes weakness policies, I guess, a lot better too in that sense. But it basically just makes it where you take less damage from super effective hits. It's great on a bulky Psychic that's gonna be taking a lot of coverage knockoffs and a lot of coverage U-turns, things like that. Makes it to where you're not taking as much damage from those types of moves, and it makes setup Necro better. It makes defensive Necro way better. It even makes offensive setup Necro a lot better, just because you can live hits that you typically wouldn't be able to if you didn't have Prism Armor. So that's great. Propeller Tail. What the hell do you do? Propeller Tail? Just doubles ability? I know it's Barraskewda. Those cannot be redirected, so it is a doubles ability. Let's put them right there. Protean. Protean's gonna go right up here. Libero. For the same reason. I'm gonna put it lower because there's also Kecleon that gets it. Kecleon drags down a little bit. Protean Grin's broken and he's banned. But I guess Kek is there, and I think this ability, just like by what it does, makes it broken. It's ridiculous. Not broken as it's like you can't about Kecleon with Protean. It's more so like, the ability itself, what it does. Super sick, nasty, broken. Okay. Punk Rock. Punk Rock is awesome. Not only do you take less damage from sound-based moves, yours do a ridiculous amount of damage. Basically giving you a third stab and boom burst. Basically giving you a move and boom burst that does more damage than your overdrive and things like that against a lot of neutral targets. So that's obviously great. Pure Power. Same thing as Huge Power. Doubles your attack stat. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put it above Azu because I like Mega Medicham. Mega Medicham is a hella cool. So we're gonna put it above it. Queenly Majesty. A lot like Dazzling in my mind. Though I think it's a little bit more useful on Serena, not having to take like Ice Shards. I've seen like Scarf Serena make use out of this and not getting Ice Sharded by Mamoswine or Weavile or something like that. So I think it deserves a C tier spot just because it does have that niche use. I'm gonna put it above Limber. But yeah, Quick Draw. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of C tier. I hate this ability. I hate bullshit abilities that are kind of reliant on getting cheese and lucky and stuff like that. But it definitely isn't the worst thing in the world. It can come clutch sometimes, so you can't really complain too much. Let's go Quick Feet. Decently good enough ability. I mean, the only Pokemon that really makes use out of it in standard is going to be Jolteon. Obviously, Poochyena and Mightyena aren't very good. Jolteon can make use out of it and be really, really fast. I'm going to put it at the bottom of C tier because there really isn't anything else that really makes use of it in standard. Zigzagoon Galar is very good in Little Cup with Quick Feet. I like that a lot about it. Rain Dish, I'm also going to put it right down here. There aren't a lot of Pokemon that get it, and a lot of the time when you draft Rain, you're not drafting Rain Stall, you're drafting offense. And I guess Pokemon like Tentacruel and Blastoise really do appreciate having Rain Dish. It makes them very annoying to kill, to be completely honest. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put up here with Liquid Ooze because it's another Tentacruel ability. I'll put Tentacruel in the front though because he's cool. Cool. Okay, Rattled. Bottom of C tier. I believe what Rattle does is it basically just gives you like a +1 speed if you get hit with a Dark type move. Or a Ghost type move, I'm pretty sure. There aren't very good Pokemon that get it. So we're gonna put it at the bottom of. No, we're gonna put We're gonna put it in like D tier. I feel like these abilities are way better. I don't know what I'm saying. And we're gonna put it above Q Charm. So you have Bug, Dark, or Ghost type attack. And it also raises your speed if you're intimidated. Okay, that's interesting. Receiver, that is a doubles ability. So we're gonna put it right here. Reckless. Reckless is very strong on Mienshao on Hitmonlee, making your high jump kicks do a ridiculous amount of damage. There are no more resists if you're a choice baited high jump kick Pokemon with a Reckless. I'm gonna put it in the same vein as like, no, I don't think it's that good. I'm gonna put it below these Pokemon. Yeah, because it is really strong, but I think the other Pokemon give more overall utility. Refrigerate. Refrigerate is very good on Mega Glalie. Other than that, I don't think there are a lot of Pokemon that get it. Yep, it's just Auroras. I think I'm going to put it in... I think I'm going to put it in C tier right here just because what the ability does is very good. And because Mega Glalie. Shouts out to Mega Glalie. That mon's very good. I think it's very slept on in, like, you know, a National Dex format that allows Megas and stuff like that. I thought it was really good in Gen 7 too. Auroras, obviously not the best Pokemon. You're actually going to probably want to run Snow Warning in a lot of matchups so you get that Veil out of it this gen. But, the ability on paper is very good, and Mega Glalie is very good, even though it's not really on this list. Regen, the best ability in Draft League. Cannot change my mind. Being able to switch and get 33% of your health back on a generation with heavy-duty boots in it is disgusting. Especially because I don't know why they have Mienshao as like the main cover Pokemon for this. When I think Torntea should be. But all the Pokemon besides really like Mienshao, most of them are ridiculously bulky too. It makes these Pokemon so much harder to wear down over time. Pokemon like Toxapex, Tangrowth, Slowking, Slowbro, Amoonguss, they're already so difficult to break through, and then you just give them a free 33% when they decide to leave the battle? Ridiculous. You cannot change my mind that Regenerator is the best ability in Draft League. I think it's the best ability in Pokemon, just as a whole. It's really broken. So we're going to put it there. Ripen, low D tier, not very good. Rivalry, high F tier, not very good. RKS System, I think this ability is very good. I'm going to put it in A just because only Silvally gets it. But basically, it makes it for Silvally when it's holding a memory, whether it be rock memory, fire memory, whatever memory type it's holding, it turns into that type and it changes its attack, multi-attack to said typing. It makes drafting Silvally really, really solid. Obviously, being able to pick and choose what type you're bringing to a matchup every week. If you have a glaring hole in your team, Silvally can typically fill it, which is awesome. And multi-attack was actually buffed to 120 base power post to 90, which it was in Gen 7. So that makes Silvally offensively a lot better with Swords Dance, Flame Charge type sets and things like that. So I think it makes Silvally a really good Pokemon. And I've always been a big Silvally guy, so I gotta put it here in A tier. Next up, we have Rockhead. Rockhead is great on what? Tyrantrum? That's basically it. That's great on... Oh, Marowak. Marowak it's very good on, actually. Steelix, not really. Yeah, realistically, it's Marowak and Tyrantrum. Throwing off Rockhead head smashes is crazy. They're very, very strong. I think I'm going to put this in low B tier above Dragon's Maw because it's another, type of like boosting, I guess, or making a certain attack moves better, but not on a lot of Pokemon, so you can't rank it any higher than that, in my opinion. But something like Rockhead Tyrantrum is very hard to deal with. That's for sure. Rough Skin, I think Rough Skin has a little bit less defensive utility than something like that. Maybe even a little bit more, because like Rough Skin, like obviously Sharpedo isn't the best example of a Rough Skin Pokemon having great utility, but Garchomp and Druddigon, Rough Skin helmet sets with like Endure are so annoying for other physical attacks. Even if they have good coverage to break through you, you're doing so much damage to them if you're Rough Skin helmeting, chipping them, and then, potentially, enduring. Makes multi-hit moves basically a non-factor. You don't want to click Fake Out with your Mega Lop as much. Things like that. So I think that's obviously great. Runaway, I'm pretty sure that is an in-game ability. I'm going to put it right there. Sandforce. Sandforce isn't Sand Rush, so I don't think it's that great. I'm going to put it at the bottom of A, simply because I feel like a lot of the time, other than on something like Landorus I, because Sheer Force is usually banned, there aren't a lot of Pokemon that can really make use of Sandforce. Mega Garchomp actually is a great one. I'm capping. I think Mega Garchomp on Sand is terrifying. Like getting like Mega Garchomp T-Tar, Mega Garchomp Gigalith. It can actually be a really fun offensive core. It makes that Pokemon ridiculously strong. I actually just going to run Sand Rush a lot of the time on Sand, but Sandforce is definitely an option on against teams that just don't have ground resist. I've run Banded Sandforce Extra Drill before, and it's been terrifying for people to deal with, also because they're playing around Sand Rush and often calculating for Sand Rush. Sand Rush, I think, is a lot better. I'm going to put it right here below, right above Guts. I think it gives Excadrill great offensive utility. I think it makes Stoutland a usable Pokemon. It's great on Dracozolt and Dracovish on sand teams if you don't need that boost from Hustle or Strongjaw. So yeah, really solid, honestly. I like Sandrush a lot. I mean, Excadrill is going to be the poster child for it, but other Pokemon make use of it too. Sandspit. I'm going to say Sandspit is low C tier. It's another sand ability. It sets the sand when you're hit with a move, but I feel like if you're drafting Sandaconda, usually Shed Skin's a lot better, using it as a status absorber, maybe resting off damage, things like that, opposed to getting up sand sometimes and, you know, not being on the switch and only being when you're attacked. It just makes it a little bit less reliable. While it still can be used for sure, I've seen it used with great success in like early Galar Dex metas. It's not the best thing in the world, so I wouldn't say like, wow, Sandaconda is a great sand setter, you know? Sandstream is a great ability. I'm going to put it right here up here with Drought. It makes T-Tar so ridiculously fast on Spit Outside. Obviously, rock types, when they're in sand, get a nice Spadef boost. It makes Hippo great, obviously, passively chipping things down, single sand. Makes Gigalith very bulky and annoying. Hip Hop Task, my boy. Great low, really, really budget sand setter for your extra drills and things like that. So, Sandstream's a great ability because it also supports a team really well. Like, Sand Team built around it very well. You know, I love my Sand offense. It's definitely very fun. Sand Veil is stupid cheese and it shouldn't be allowed. If it is allowed, I'm gonna put it in low B because, like, while it's a lot like something like Quick Draw and it's very RNG dependent, if you're like Bright Powder, Sand Veil, Garchomp in the sand or something like that, and you're setting up subs and SDs and just not getting hit because RNG's in your favor, it's pretty broken. Your opponent can't do much when they can't hit you. I believe the APA Classic this most recent season, Tar Heel won it because we allowed Sand Veil, and he ran Bright Powder Sand Veil against a sand team, and he was in the best position. Again, he didn't like auto lose the game for the position he was in, but he set up a substitute, and Swords Dance, Hip Out on the other side was missing Ice Fangs, and just kind of cleaved through at that point. It was very, very unfortunate to watch. It's a very unbalanced, unfun, uncompetitive ability in my mind. But you know, each their own. Sap Sipper. I think Sap Sipper is a great ability. Let's go ahead and put it right up here. I'm gonna put it above Light and Rod. Above Light and Rod. I feel like the Pokemon that get it can take advantage of it a little bit better. You have Pokemon like Azumarill and like Boudreaux, which can be very annoying. Like Fat Azumarill sets are great. Boudreaux being a grass community is obviously really, really nice as well. You have Miltank, which can be really annoying with Sap Sipper as well. And then even, you know, Big Boof, which is on the picture here, is a really fun mon, really good low tier mon. Having Soundproof and Sap Sipper can make it really annoying to build for in some matchups. So I really don't think that Boof is a bad Pokemon at all. I actually very much so enjoy Boof. So I'm going to put it right there. Schooling is cool. It just makes Wishy-Washy not bad though. It's like, it's not even like, it's just like, this is the Wishy-Washy ability. So I'm going to put it there. Scrappy, being able to hit ghost types with your fighting and normal moves is amazing. Not necessarily just for, what do you call it? Not necessarily just for Kangaskhan. Like, it's not bad on Kangaskhan at all. But more so Megalopony. It makes Megalop an amazing, amazing Pokemon. Normal and fighting coverage when they don't have immunities are very, very good. Especially on a Pokemon that gets stab on them and is very fast. So I think Scrappy's great. And it's immune to Intimidate now this gen. Also makes Pokemon like Surf Edge very hard to switch into with close combat. So that's good. Screen Cleaner, does this just eliminate screens when you touch the field? I don't know what this does. I'll be 100% honest. We're actually kind of cleaving through right now. Screen Cleaner. On switching, the effects of Aurora Veil and stuff like that wear off. If it was on a better Pokemon, I'd say sure, this is okay. But it's not. I'm going to put it in high D tier, just because it's pretty cool if you're playing Veil and you have a Mr. Mime Galar or Mr. Rhyme for some fucking reason. That's obviously really solid. Now we have Serene Grace. I think that Serene Grace is... I'm going to put it at the top of A. I don't think it's as broken as people say. I think people scream about Scarf Rachi, Scarf Kiss, flinching me down. Definitely very annoying, but there are ways around it. Obviously, just being able to amplify your chances to get secondary effects is amazing. Whether it be like an Ice Punch on your Jirachi, making a 20% chance. That's so annoying. I think that's almost as annoying as getting flinched by a Jirachi as getting frozen or burned by a Fire Punch or a Thunderbolt parrying you or something like that. Or like the crazy DPP Jirachi sets that would run like Thunder because there's like a 60% chance to para and you get para flinch down. Obviously, both of those Pokemon get Thunder Wave too, but Thunder's an offensive option. So definitely pretty solid. Really good Pokemon. Shadow Tag. I'm going to put it right next to Arena Trap. More so with Goth, not Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet sucks. But with Gothitelle, it's an amazing ability. It makes Gothitelle go from a lot like Dougie, an unviable Pokemon, to a really, really great Pokemon that can work well with, offense and fatter builds alike very, very well, and kind of help you facilitate your own game plans or force your opponent into a corner while prepping, forcing them to bring Shed Shells, forcing them to bring specific movesets to counter and stop that Gothitelle from trapping them, opposed to bringing the best set overall for the rest of the matchup, maybe opening up that door for you, even if you can't trap it and beat it. Shed Skin is a very solid ability. I'm going to go ahead and put it right up here. It makes Pokemon like Scrappy very annoying. It makes Pokemon like Sandaconda very annoying. Let's see, what else gets Shed Skin? Basically, it gives you like a 1 in 3 chance, I believe, to just get rid of the status on you. It's just Scrappy and Sandaconda, I think. 33% chance to have its status secured at the end of each turn. So it's great for rest sets. It's great for being burned, being toxic, being paralyzed, being frozen even. You can just kind of get rid of those 1 in 3 times. It's, almost, those are pretty good odds, in all honesty. Sheer Force. Sheer Force is a busted ability, and I think I'm going to put it up here with Gorilla Attackers. I think Sheer Force is better than Gorilla Attackers, I'll be honest. Like, as an ability, Sheer Force is nuts. It makes Pokemon like Nidoking, Nidoqueen, Darmanitan, Capraja, Tauros, even like offensive Druddigon sets, really, really, really difficult to deal with as a whole. For Alligator's another great option. Mega Camel, my boy. It makes these Pokemon, basically Pokemon moves with secondary effects, do how much more? 1.3 times more, and it also nullifies their effects, which sucks a little bit, but then also nullifies the effects of Life Orb for some reason. So you can get a free Life Orb on top of you getting your Sheer Force boost on your Sludge Wave on your Nidoking, making those Pokemon go from very mediocre offensively. Like, I mean, if you look at Nidoking's stats, 102 attack, 85 special attack, that's not very strong, but then you give it a Sheer Force boost, that shit hits like a truck, and it makes it one of the best wall breakers in the game. Lando Eye obviously gets it, and that's why it's banned in a lot of leagues. It's allowed in some others, but I think it's, honestly, no, I'm putting it above. I think Sheer Force is an amazing ability. It's really, really good. Shell Armor, obviously not allowed to be crit. I'm going to put this right up here with Battle Armor. I think that Battle Armor is given to better Pokemon, if I'm remembering correctly. Let me double check. I know you have, Escav, you have Cloister, Turtonator is nice on as well. So, not the worst things in the world, to be completely honest. Torterra, if you don't want to be crit on your defensive Torterra. Oh, Slowbro gets Shell Armor, not Battle Armor. Same thing. Actually, then I feel like that makes it better, because Slowbro's the Pokemon I like that kind of ability. Where is it? I'm gonna put it right here. Slowbro's broken. Mega Slowbro's a Firemon, I mean. Awesome. Okay, cool. Shield Dust. What the hell does Shield Dust do again? Shield Dust. No Shell Armor. So Rabombi, Frostmoth, Cutiefly, Caterpie, and Schnob. The Pokemon in the game that have it. Venomoth, Dustox, Villon, things like that. Okay, let's see what it does. The Pokemon is not affected by secondary effects of any other Pokemon's attack. I think it's pretty nice on Rabombi because you can't get faked out. So that's cool. Random secondary effects that could be annoying too, like getting nuzzled. I don't think it works either. So that's not the worst thing in the world. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in like high D because it's good on Rabombi. I guess in niche situations, not really good on anything else because all the other Pokemon get suck. Or would use a different ability, like Venomoth is gonna use Tinted Lens. So not the worst thing in the world. Has niche uses. Shields down again is pretty niche and it's nice for Mini-Or getting that big speed boost. Not anything else though. So I'm gonna put it in high D. If Simple is a really good ability on principle of doubling your stat changes, but the only issue with Simple is not a lot of good Pokemon get Simple. It's just Swoobat, the Swoobat line, Numel before it evolves, and then the Bidoof line. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Simple just on principle in C tier. It's just the Pokemon that get it aren't very good. Swoobat can make use of it in like terrain, like I seen like my boy Kurt when he pulled up on Lux with the Grassy Seed, Calm Mind Woobat with Simple. Definitely very fire, and I've done both Woobat and Little Cup before, so definitely pretty good. Skill Link is really good in Little Cup. In Standard, it's a little bit worse. It makes Cloister very good with the Shell Smash, throwing off Icicle Spear. Cinccino throwing off Tail Slash is very annoying. Mega Heracross is very good on, I think. Then I suppose something like Ambipom, off the same kind of hits. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in probably low C. I'm gonna put it right below Moto Drive. I feel like it's a fair enough spot for it. Slow Start is an objectively bad ability. It's going to be at the bottom of F because it's worse than Defeatist because Archeop's actually a good Pokemon. Slush Rush is probably the worst weather abusing ability just because it's for hail. But it's good in the sense that it's, still a weather abusing ability and it can make a lot of Pokemon pretty scary. Things like Arctozolt come to mind. I think Arctozolt was nasty under weather. Big Zolt. Sicky Cheese, my boy. He's broken. Sniper really isn't that bad. I'm gonna put Sniper as well in like low B. Because like crit dress sets are very annoying. Or even, crit Drapion sets. I don't know how you make that a weird saying or anything like that. But or Inteleon throwing off focus energy with having scope lens and sniper can be very scary to deal with. So it's nice on these Pokemon. Snow Cloak, I'm gonna put at the bottom of C. Same reason I'm putting this at the bottom of B. There's just less good Pokemon that get it, and I have the same exact thoughts. I think it's uncompetitive and stupid. So that's it. I guess it can be annoying on Frostlass if you have Hail for some reason. Snow Warning. I think I'm going to put Snow Warning at the top of B just because a lot of the Snow Warning Pokemon now get Veil, and I think Veil in itself makes Snow Cloak so much better. Makes Snow Warning. Sorry, I meant Snow Warning. Snow Warning makes Ninetales a lot better. It makes Bomb Snow and Vanilluxe a lot better. They both got Veil. They both can throw off free blizzards, and I believe Bomb Snow got Earth Power. I think Vanilluxe is here and it's very annoying throwing off base 110 special attack blizzard. It's the strongest of the Pokemon that get Hail or Snow Warning. It's the strongest of all that use it, and then obviously Reverse. So I'm gonna put it at the top of B. I think that's fair enough. It makes those Pokemon a lot better. Solar Power. What gets Solar Power other than Zard? Solar Power. Heliolisk, Zard. I think this is a very mediocre, how do you call it? Weather abusing ability. I'm gonna put it right below Slush Rush. I think it can make Pokemon like Heliolisk really scary in the sun and Zard, but I feel like those are used very often if I'm being honest. So I'm gonna put it there. Solid Rock. I think Solid Rock is an amazing. Yeah, Solid Rock is great. It makes Rhyperior so annoying, so hard to kill. It's a great ability. I'm gonna put it on the likes with Fluffy. I think they're both really useful. I think Solar Power. Solid Rock is a lot better just because all super effective moves aren't doing as much damage. It makes care cost out at least. I guess care problems here, but mostly just Rhyperior. Soundproof. Soundproof is very niche and mediocre. I'm gonna put it at the top of D. Being no, I think I put it low C. I think low C is fair. I'm gonna put it right here. There you go. Because I forgot things like Komoga. I was just looking at X-Pad and I was like, why am I gonna run that and see Scrappy on X-Pad? Well, because Komoga gets it, which is obviously really, really nice. Sorry, I'm trying to see if there's anything else I'm forgetting. I got it. Oh, Boof, which we talked about earlier. The Mr. Mime was nice to your pick. So, Electrode, I suppose. Which again is crazy, but not the worst. Speed Boost. I think Speed Boost is an A tier ability. On Blaziken, obviously, it is broken. On Scolipede, it is amazing. It makes a great fast spiker, Swords Dance Sweeper. On Baton, in Baton Pass type leagues, I think it would be like top of A, if A would be S. I'm gonna put it above Imposter, just because of the fact that it makes the Scolipede go from what would be a very mediocre mad Pokemon to an amazing tier 2 type mon. Stakeout. I think Stakeout, on principle, is very good. I'm pretty sure. Let me, refresh myself. Stakeout. Soundproof. Only Thievul and Gumshoes get it. Pokemon's attack stat is doubled against the target's turn. So if we go on better Pokemon, this ability would be great. But it's not. So I'm gonna give the same treatment as these abilities right here that are pretty good, but they're not on good Pokemon. Stall. I think this makes it move last every turn. This is double ability. This is Double's ability. It's only Sableye that gets it. Pokemon's moves last among Pokemon using the same ability. So what does this help? I'm gonna put it right there. It's pretty bad. It's pretty now I'm gonna put it above Klutz. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm gonna put it above Klutz. I think it's probably not that bad. Stalwart is a doubles ability. Wait, I'm gonna put this right here because it's not a doubles ability. It's just bad. Stamina is great on big muds. I think I can put it probably right here. Getting a defense boost by just being hit is amazing for Mudsdale. Makes it a 5th step monster. It gets body pressure stamp, which makes it even better. So you can't really complain. I'm gonna try and start zooming through these a little bit because my throat hurts. And how long have I been recording this one? Oh, I'm just realizing that my green screen is kind of stuffed right now. Let me scoot over. Oops. Let me see if I can fix that. That's not what I want to do. Filters. Let's see. Let's go with that. Okay. Yeah, screw it. My bad. Green screen isn't the best of this video, but not the biggest deal in the world, to be completely honest. I've probably been moving around too much. I'm gonna just move something this lodge something. But yeah, we're gonna try and speed through these. Age/Stance Change. It makes Age/ Great Pokemon. I think I'm gonna put an A tier. I don't think it's like an objectively broken ability on its own. It's just a cool option with big AG. Being able to switch between your attack and your defense, it can be great sometimes, and sometimes it could suck. So I think I'm actually going to put it right here with Chlorophyll. I think it's a good spot for it. Static is annoying, and you can parry your opponent. It makes things like Zapdos so annoying to deal with. I'm going to put it above... I'm going to put it right here. Yeah, I think that's a perfect spot for Static. Just being able to paralyze your opponent for attacking you. So fucking annoying. So annoying. Okay, Steadfast. I think Steadfast this gen was updated to where before you just couldn't be flinched by what do you call it? No, it wasn't given a Intimidate blocker like the other ones. I was thinking Lucario because I know Inner Focus does now, but I thought Steadfast did too. This is very niche. But I think I can put it at the top of D. It's very niche, but like it's not objectively useless. So I'm gonna put it there. Steam Engine, same thing. Very niche. It's good if you can bait out a fire move, but even then, if you're a Colossal, does it really matter? No. Steelworker is awesome, like on principle. Very strong. I'm gonna put it right here. It makes things like, Delmise having a third stab is great. If it was on more Pokemon other than Delmise, it might shoot up a little bit more, but I don't think I can put it any higher than that. I think Steel's Spirit is pretty bad. It just boosts Steel type moves, but you also have Sheer Force on your, what do you call it? Berserker. So like, why run this? I think I'm gonna put it right there. I think that's a pretty nice spot for it. Stench. What the hell does Stench do? I know it's not... Oh, it gives it to where like non-flinching moves have a chance to flinch, yeah? Because they're like, oh, this smells. Yeah, this is very RNG dependent and not very good. It's very niche, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm gonna I'll put it at the bottom of D, because it's not like objectively bad, like a lot of these abilities are. Like bad or useless. Sticky Hold. Sticky Hold not getting knocked off is nice. This is a really good ability in Little Cup. Like a really good ability in Little Cup. In Standard, not as much. Not getting knocked off with your Gastron is cool, I suppose. But a lot of the time you're gonna want to run Storm Drain instead. Selgor too, you're gonna want to run Unburden or something like that. Like Sticky Hold can definitely come up clutch sometimes, I suppose. And then you have Pokemon like Swalot and Muck. So like, on principle, ability is pretty good. In practice, not really, because there aren't really a lot of good Pokemon that get this ability. So I'm gonna put it right there, right below Tempo. Same kind of deal. Storm Drain, any immunity to water is great, because something like Scald being the most spammable move in the game, realistically, is and being able to be immune to that is great. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it, something like Hydration. I think I'm gonna move Hydration down too, to be completely honest. I think I'm gonna move it down to the bottom of B. It's a really only mana feed, it really helps. Strong Jaw, young Strong Jaw, chomping for the bread. Trying to hit me with your best, didn't matter, new spread. So it's great on things like Dracovish. It's nice and niche matchups on like Tyrantrum and stuff like that. Sharpedo makes it very strong. Brush is actually a cool Slept-On mon that I really enjoy. I think that we can make this thing, we can make this low E tier just because it makes Dracovish so ridiculously strong. Honestly, maybe we should move it up here, because like we have Clauncher in here and there's only one other Pokemon that gets Mega Launcher, and it just makes that one good, and I feel like this is good on multiple Pokemon at the very least, so we can make it a little bit higher. Sturdy. Sturdy is an amazing ability. I'm going to put it in A tier. I think being able to guarantee take one hit with no hazards up, and with boots this gen, you can always take a hit, which is genuinely awesome. So I think I'm going to put it right here. Just being able to guarantee take a hit is always a nice safety blanket. Then we have Suction Cups. What the hell does Suction Cups do? Can you just not switch? A lot of bad Pokemon get it too. This Pokemon cannot be forced to switch out by another attack item, so it's just like ingrained without getting health. It's just you can't be reward phased. I mean, on the top of D, it's not objectively bad, but like the Pokemon that get it kind of suck, and it's not a very objectively good ability. Super Luck, I'm going to put at probably bottom of D. Not a super useful ability. You don't typically see it often because Togekiss has it. And Unpheasant has it. Absol has it. And Honchkrow. So not the most typical Pokemon you're either going to, see, whether it be like, something like Unpheasant and regular Absol, or something like Honchkrow using Moxie most of the time. Togekiss is going to use, Serene Grace. I think they're on Super Luck and Double, so it's just pretty cool. But yeah, not the most useful ability. Surge Surfer, Raichu's signature ability, definitely really solid. I'm going to go ahead and put it like above Harvest. It makes Raichu really scary with Rising Voltage, especially this gen, and then having Surf for grounds and having Psychic coverage on top of that makes this Pokemon, and Focus Blast and a bunch of things like that. It makes this Pokemon very, very scary to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in C. I think that's definitely fair. Swarm is, I'm gonna put it below these three because it's the same thing as Blaze, Torn, and Overgrowth, just for bug types, and bugs aren't typically as crazy as starter Pokemon, especially in using their bulk and getting below that, threshold. Sweet Veil. What the hell does Sweet Veil do again? Sweet Veil. Makes it to where this Pokemon cannot fall asleep. Very niche. Not bad. Not good. We're going to go ahead and put it right here. Yeah, I think that's fair. Swift Swim. Swift Swim is an A-tier ability. It is better than Chlorophyll. For sure. I think I'm going to put it right above Chlorophyll. Obviously, Rain is great in draft. We have Drizzle in S tier. And if you pair it with a couple Swift Swim Sweepers, it's going to be really hard for your opponent to deal with you defensively throughout a matchup. If you just continuously pressure them with Rain offense, Rain boosted hits as you're moving faster than them too. Symbiosis, I'm pretty sure, is a doubles ability. We're going to put it right there. Synchronize. Also not the best ability. Not the worst. I think I'm going to put it in... I'm going to put it in C tier. It's a lot like Mummy. I feel like Mummy can have more upside though. Synchronize basically means if you get status, the Pokemon that did it to you also gets status. Now it doesn't work for T-Spikes, but Pokemon like Mew can really make use of Synchronize, make Toxicking it a little bit more annoying. Synchronize moves. Nice. There we go. Yeah, Pokemon like Mew, Umbreon. That's it. Musharna, I suppose. Definitely another one. So Mew, Umbreon, Musharna are going to be the main ones that are really going to make use of that. All the other Pokemon that get it have more useful abilities. Use Tangled Feet, another ability that isn't necessarily objectively bad, but it's not really that good. I'm going to go ahead and put it in right there. Okay, cool. I'm gonna kind of zoom through. Tangly Hair, not a bad ability, but it's only on Alolan Dugtrio, which never makes use of it. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. I think that's fair. Technician. Technician is an amazing, amazing ability. It's really great on things like Scizor and Mega Scizor. I think I'm going to go ahead and put this probably right there. Yeah, I think that's a fair spot. Technician. Yeah, Marshadow obviously broken into Uber Speaks. But then Scizor is great with Technician offensively. Then you have things like Hitmontop. Technotop is really, really cool. Technician Scyther with Dual Wing Beat is great now. Breloom, another really, really solid Pokemon that gets, Mach Punch. Technician boosted hits, Mach Punch, Bullet Seed, Rock Tomb, things like that. So definitely really solid. Telepathy is a doubles ability, correct? Correct. Double check. Yeah, this Pokemon cannot take damage from attacks by its ally, so Telepathy is going to go in F tier with all the other doubles abilities. Awesome. Thick Fat. Thick Fat is a great, great ability, giving you a added on resistance to fire type moves and ice type moves. It makes things like Mamoswine, Piloswine are neutral to fire and actually resist ice. It's supposed to be neutral to them and weak to them. So things like that, definitely good defensive utility. I'm gonna go ahead and put it probably right here in in B tier. I think that's a completely fair spot. And Tinted Lens on principle is a broken ability. I think this ability is really, really strong. A lot of Pokemon that get it aren't super crazy broken Pokemon, but it makes things like Venomoth, Yanmega really scary to switch into. Let me see what else gets it. Is there anything else great? I think Vivillon gets it. Sigilyph. Actually, Sigilyph is a really fire user of this, though often you're going to want like Magic Guard Life Orbs if you're running offensive. Noctowl actually has a lot more usage generation with it, so definitely a really, really solid ability on principle. Tough Claws, also super broken on things like Mega Aerodactyl, Mega Charizard. I'm going to put this in A tier just because of how ridiculously strong this can really get at a certain point. I'm going to put Tough Claws right there. Like I said, Mega Zardax, Mega Arrow, both ridiculously strong Pokemon that get access to this. Mega Metagross is typically banned, so you won't have to worry about that. Lycanroc Dusk, another great Pokemon that gets access to Tough Claws. So definitely really solid. Toxic Boost, not an objectively bad ability, but is an ability on a very bad Pokemon. So I'm gonna put it right there. Trace. Trace is an amazing ability in draft. I love Trace. I'm going to put it at the tippy top almost of A tier. Being able to copy your opponent's ability in draft is really nice. Being able to have Scarf Carnivore against rain or sand with its great coverage is awesome. Megazam is great because of Trace. It really traces and takes advantage of a lot of annoying Pokemon's abilities. It can trace things like Regenerator and get health back, things like that. Porygon 2 is also very annoying. You can trace immunity, so if you switch into a Flygon that has Levitate, Earthquake, your Gardevoir goes from being a really frail fairy type to something that checks it completely. Obviously you turn into Sting, but you get my gist. So I think Trace is an amazing ability in draft if you can utilize it. Transistor, it makes Regieleki ridiculously strong with Thunderbolts, but I think Regieleki sucks. So I'm gonna put it in F tier because Regieleki fucking sucks, and you can't change my mind. I think that one is awful. Yell at me in the comments about it. Boost me in the algorithm. Regieleki is a terrible Pokemon, and I think if you draft it and you do with it, it's because you're playing in a farm league. Anybody with a brain cell will not lose to that Pokemon. Next, Triage. Oh, well, let me put Triage. I'm still putting Regieleki at the bottom. Badmon. Triage. I think Triage is a very good ability. It basically gives your healing boost priority. I think I'm going to put this at some point in B tier. Where do I want to put it? I think I'm going to put it right there. It makes Comfey really good. It makes it really annoying to deal with draining because like Calm Mind type sets, Synthesis, and Leech Seeds that also have priority. Now, it's only on Comfey. I think it's on some other broken Pokemon. That'd be annoying. I think they should give Mega Audino Triage. I was talking about this in call with somebody last night. I think Mega Audino Triage would be so annoying, and it wouldn't be like as good as like Regenerator, which honestly it should. But if they wanted to give it like a different ability from the regular form, for some reason, I think Triage would actually be a cool idea. Unaware is a great ability. I'm going to put it probably up in A tier around Clear Body. Just being able to ignore stat boosts in general on Pokemon like Quagsire, Pokemon like Clefable. Pyukumuku is a bad version of it, but really just Clefable and Quagsire are going to be the main two that really take advantage of this. Unless the Pokemon has some kind of ability to go through that, or they're using like stored power shenanigans, it really just stops setup and it tracks. As long as the setup doesn't already overview itself, really, really useful tool on those Pokemon. If you're scared against one specific setup threat, it's great. Unburden, I think Unburden is an A tier ability for sure. It makes Pokemon like Hawlucha incredibly scary to deal with if if they're let to get out of hand. I'm gonna put it right there above Moxie. On Burden, boom. Yeah, it makes Hawlucha great. It makes Slurpuff with either Belly Drum, Citrus Berry, or like even like Calm Mind type sets. With Citrus Berry or Double Dance could be very, very annoying. I like Drifloon a lot. I think it's a really fun mod. Getting the double speed on that can be really annoying with Calm Mind Strength Sap sets. So definitely really, really fun Pokemon for sure. Unnerve. Unnerve is a very good ability in Draft League. I think I already have my thumbnail made for this one. I'm totally baiting in it. But like Unnerve is bad. I think Unnerve is like an A tier ability for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna put it right there. Just especially in Draft League, such a very prevalent meta where a lot of the time people are like, I need this Chocolate Berry to live this close combat. I need this. I guess let's give a bug example because it's Galvitch. I need this. What do you call it? I need this Con Berry to live this Thunder, so my Water type can 2-hit KO this thing or live this hit after a Calm Mind. It'll be really annoying. It's something like that. People just be like, no, you don't get to eat your berry because I'm Unnerved is really, really solid and useful, and it just really helps. Unseen Fish. I actually think this ability is really good. Not because, like, objectively, I want to put it at the bottom of A. Well, one, it's on a really good Pokemon in Urshifu. Both the Urshifus are great in draft. But two, because it really stops those annoying Wish Protect type monsters from really being able to wish stall you. If you're facing a Fairy type with the Switch it, and you're 2-hit KOing it because of the chip that it's at, and they have to wish to recover, they're not getting that recovery off because you Wicked Blow as they wish or something like that, so you call the turn, and they can't protect again. They just can't, because you would go through it, obviously. That's what Unseen Fist does. So I think that's really solid, and it honestly catches people off guard a lot. So I don't think it's bad, and it's obviously on a great Pokemon. Victory Star, same thing, only on one Pokemon, but I'm going to put it in low A tier. In a format like Draft, where you, a lot of games come down to hacks, or just, I guess, Pokemon in general comes down to hacks a lot. Not having to worry about missing your moves as much is amazing. It multiplies your accuracy by 1.1, and that really does help out with a lot of things. It makes it to where V-Crate is basically 99% accurate, things like that, like Blue Flare. It makes it to where you can drop Thunders in some matchups because you're like, yo, I got my accuracy boost, I'm hitting most of the time. Or Bolt Strike is a little bit nicer and stuff like that. So it makes Victini a little bit more reliable, so I don't think you can really complain about that at all. Battle Spirit means it can't be put to sleep, not objectively bad. Bolt Absorb. I'm gonna put this right next to Storm Drain. Where's Storm Drain? There we go. Let's go ahead and put it next to Storm Drain. And then let's go Bolt Absorb. What Pokemon all get it? If Thundy T, Zeraora, which are obviously great with it, Lantern, and then Jolteon. So definitely pretty solid Pokemon and getting this ability. Just again, having an immunity to electric, where Volt Switch is a very, very annoying potential thing to deal with in a lot of settings. Wandering Spirit, I'm going to put this right by Mummy. I think it's actually a little bit better than Mummy in a lot of instances because you actually take your opponent's ability. So it can lead to some really cool interactions if you can position it well, but it's not like an objectively broken ability or really good or anything like that. Water Absorb, I'm going to put with all the other ones that we have so far. It's going to be better than Storm Drain though because you get health off of it. And Storm Drain is really only, I believe, Gas Shot, right? I totally forget. Storm. Wow. Yeah, and pre-daily miracle. So I would honestly Infinity the Minion. Not bad. So a lot of the time water bubble. A little better. Water bubble, on principle, really, really good ability. Not being able to be burned in your Arachnid. Not being able to not taking, neutral damage to fire and resisting it, and then doing a shit ton more with your liquidations, your scalds, things like that. I think it makes this ability very, very good. I'm gonna go ahead and put it there. It makes Arachnid so much better than it actually is. Water Compaction, not useless, not great. It gives you a +1 defense. That's about it. I'm gonna put it right here just because Palisand's a very good Pokemon, but like the ability itself, really not that good. Water Veil. Is this just Leaf Guard? Water types? I totally forget what Water Veil does. Kind of tell you where. Water Veil. All the Pokemon that get it done. Pokemon cannot be burned. Game's ability will burn. Here's it. I'm gonna put it. Not that good. Weak Armor. I think Weak Armor and the hands of a good player can be very annoying to deal with. So I'm going to put it kind of around Aftermath. Use it correctly. It is a great pivot. Potentially get a little bit faster. Be annoying. Things like Arbor are getting a second spike because of it could be awesome. Even like Skarmory or something like that. Doing it. Or Crustle so you can get more spikes. Omastar. Kabutops. There's definitely a lot of options. Very annoying with that's where we're going to put it. White Smoke. Let's see. White. Almost done. This is amazing. My throat is dead. I don't remember White Smoke does at all though. Prevents the Pokemon from flowing. Prevents other Pokemon from saturation. Not useless. Great. Wimp Out is just for Wimpod. You're not going to use it. You just hang out with all the Ubers. Wonder Guard. Wonder Guard itself is a really good ability. I'm going to put it at the bottom of the seat because in the hands of a good player, it would be very annoying. In the hands of a good player, it would be very annoying. But obviously, against a good player, it's not too much. In fact, a lot of things you can do to get around Wonder Guard and just having coverage on your team. Well, but I think it can be very annoying. Last, Wonder Skin. Give it a buck. Don't know what Wonder Skin does. Wonder Skin. It's sick with exclusive abilities, status moves with accuracy checks. So I guess Thunder Wave would be 50% accurate. Toxic, well, they would all be 50. It's just pretty much useless because you're Siglif. So you're gonna not use this ability because you have Magic Guard and Tinted Lens, two of the best abilities in the game, really. So yeah, useless ability. Then Zen Mode. It's a cool one to end off on because if we're talking Zen Mode for regular Darmanitan, very bad. Zen mode for Galarian Darmanitan, realistically not that bad. It's a cool niche way to catch your opponent off guard if they're really like Gorilla Tactics, Scarf Band, they're locking this move. You get a sub and a belly drum off your Salak Berry, and you can kind of just win the game. So I think for that fact alone, I'm gonna put it right here. And this is talking about the Galarian Darmanitan Zen mode, not the Zen mode for the regular Unovan Darmanitan. But yeah. As I cough right at the end. I'm okay, guys. We made it through. This is gonna be our list. We're gonna take one to scroll through. Now, what I want you to do, you sitting on your couch at home, I want you to go into the comment section, and I want you to tell me why I'm a dumbass and why I messed up, because that just helps me, pushes me in the algorithm. Or just tell me like, Owen, I think you're great, dude. You're really smart, and I'd appreciate that as well. I really would. If you guys can crush a like goal of 15 today, if you made it through all the way through the video, go ahead and like it. If we get to 15 likes today, that would be amazing. I would very much so appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want more like tier list type content, whether it be for draft leagues or just Pokemon in general, let me know. I have fun making these. They're very long. This one was 20 minutes longer than the other one, so, but they're very fun to make. So if you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like so I know that you want me to make more. And yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching.